All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the failure of the Tinubu regime continues as the national grid collapses for the 12th time this year. 2 weeks ago, Transmission Companies of Nigeria (TCN) came out to say that they had spent 8.8 billion naira to fix the various cases of grid collapses and power facility vandalism across country that we have seen in the last 18 months. This simply tells us that the incessant collapse of this national grid is no longer normal. It has now become another way of looting the treasury. Every sector is being buried in corruption under this Tinubu regime. That is why foreign companies are fleeing. That's why all Tinubu's visits to countries have not yielded a single result in terms of foreign investments, because the corruption and the human rights abuses in Nigeria are way too many. As we speak, Tinubu is receiving the German President Frank Stemner at Aso Rock, but it is all propaganda and photo ops that will yield no result. The corruption and the human rights abuses in Nigeria are glaring for the whole world to see. And hours ago, another very terrible case of human rights abuse came out of Delta State. This is as bad as it gets. This country will not smell one investor under this Tinubu regime with all these cases popping out like this. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, another fresh update on the daily FAROTIMI and BABALOLA saga popped up. The Nigerian judiciary is officially a crime scene. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos. The first video here is that of aged, renowned journalist Rita Lori, the wife of late Colonel Paul Ogbebo. Her property ownership was revoked by Wike, and Wike gave the land to his friends. And in this emotional video, she poured out her heart. See the video.
Camp were dilapidated, and also you can't inhabit them. Is this true, or do you think you were just targeted? Yes, ma'am.
Ayo, look, go to that camp. There are Italians. All of them are white. Most of them are white. Do you think white people will stay in a dilapidated area? This is puzzling. You want to dilapidate? This is all I'm asking today. I'm asking all Nigeria to prove we can. Enough is enough in this country. This is our country. I work here. I worked in this country. For God's own sake, it should be probed. All land should be probed. It's grabbing land that I say so. Because I'm a Nigerian. He is a Nigerian. Why should he grab lands from people who labored for it? Where was he when Abuja was a forest? Why? What? And I challenge Mr. President, whose name is being used and polluted, that he must probe Wike. Enough is enough.
Has this matter
we worked here. This is our capital.
All right, madam. Have you approached the court on this matter? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure you'd have pursued your legal options. Have you approached the court, and what's the standing currently?
I've asked the lawyers to take over and to look into all the matters. But as I said, I am a journalist, and I've done my investigation journalism. The land grabbing in Abuja is not going to help this country. Enough is enough. And you should not forget, I'm a chief from the Niger Delta. Our money is being used here. Look at our home. We are dilapidated. If you want to talk about this dilapidation, go to the Niger Delta. Go to my grandmother's house. Go to my grandfather's house, where the oil is being pumped. That is where you should go to. That is where you should help Nigerians if you want to. Not money brought to Abuja and is sunk here and is being taken over by big men of the country.
You saw that. Now, some weeks ago, some people had their houses demolished because those ones were poor, people came out and said maybe they did not acquire those lands properly. The people were rendered homeless. Wike grabbed their lands, and as usual, he gave their lands to his friends. But some Nigerians came out and began speaking against those people. They said that's how they just get lands without proper approval. Now, this is a chief of the Niger Delta, a renowned journalist there, Rita Lorry, speaking. She acquired that land very, very early when Abuja still be bush, where people never start to come. At the early stage of Abuja being a federal capital, that was when she got that land. Wike is just going about in the FCT, looking at choice locations, and once he points at your place and you are not connected to the APC, even if you are connected to the APC and your connection is not so strong, he will just revoke the ownership. No matter how it was you got the land, he will just revoke the ownership and give it to his friends. This is what this man is doing. But I want him to continue. I want him to match all the tools available so that when his disgrace begins, there will be no remedy. I want Nigerians, including rich Nigerians, to feel the pain of this APC regime, of this Tinubu regime. That is how I want it to be. I don't want anybody to be excluded, so that Nigerians will know that the impunity that we allow to thrive will eventually touch everybody. And when the sky falls, it is not one man's business. Point blank, period. The next video here carries the opinion of legal practitioner and political analyst on the Daily FAROTIMI and BABALOLA saga. See the video.
Opinion is this. Salman Rushdie, when he wrote the book Satanic Verses, the book became sold like wildfire when fatwa was placed on Salman Rushdie. Yeah. If Chief BABALOLA had tarried a while and maybe allowed the sleeping dog lie, this thing wouldn't have gotten to where it is today. The challenge now is, why would he allow the sleeping dog lie when the dog was biting his soul? That is the challenge. When the dog was biting his shoe and he felt he must rescue his shoes, he must rescue his integrity, he must rescue. But if he had even gone to the extent of filing civil defamation, police would not have been involved. Nigerians would not have heard about this. But the way it is now, there is the NSAS protests, the anger is still in the people. The police brutality, which has not ceased up to today, the anger is still in the people. The problem that Nigeria had between August 1 and August 10, when there was protest and then children were even arraigned in court by the police, the anger is still in the people. There is this in virtually all countries. Nigeria is not an exception. There is this problem between the people and the police. Because an average human being does not want to conform to laws. And the police will insist that you conform to laws. In some cases, the police will overreach themselves and the issue continues. The issue now is, if this matter continues the way it is going, because the conservatives who have sympathy for Chief BABALOLA seems to want to wear out Daily FAROTIMI with multiple cases. There's a new one that has been filed in Ibadan, right? More, because if you hear the analysis of those by SAN, that one, and maybe more will come.
No, the one in Abuja.
There's another one in Abuja. By SAN Ogumiju. And even more will come, because they said the book had...
Yeah, it's beyond Chief BABALOLA.
Yeah, so now it is beyond Chief BABALOLA. And they want to wear out Daily FAROTIMI with multiple cases that virtually for many years to come, he will be moving from one courtroom to another, answering one question, defending one matter, and all that. At the end of the day, the more that is done, more the cockroaches are being driven out. I keep saying about these cockroaches. The more they are being driven out, and the more Nigerians will hear what ordinarily they wouldn't have heard. The international community will hear what ordinarily they wouldn't have heard. It is now a class struggle between the conservatives and the radical elements.
It is as simple as that. The more they keep dragging the case, the more the cockroaches will be coming out. The more the international community will hear things that they shouldn't hear about a decent country. We have already started seeing it. WikiLeaks has released one. And the more this case goes on, the more the Nigerian judiciary shows itself as a useless entity. Federal High Court grants him bail. Magistrate Court, a court of lower jurisdiction, cancels the bail. You can't see it done anywhere in the world except Nigeria. Now, let us look at those two updates that have become the major talking points in the Nigerian political media space. First is that terrible case of human rights abuse coming out of Okuama community, Delta State. And next is that update on the Dele FAROTIMI and Afe Babalola saga. Afe Babalola obtaining a court order to stop the sales of Dele FAROTIMI's book and to, collect all the proceeds of the sales. While the case has not even started being heard, you're already receiving court order. Let's start by taking that update from Okuama community. Look at how the papers reported it. Days after Okuama community PG's death, 81-year-old Okubaye dies in detention. 6 days after the death of Okuama Community President General in Ughelli South Local Government Area of Delta State, Pa James Ogoroko, in Nigerian detention, 81-year-old Pa Dennis Okubaye, the community's treasurer, yesterday died also in military detention. The sad news of Pa Okubaye's death, the second person of the 6 arrested Okuama leaders, has led to tension in Okuama community. The Okuama leaders were arrested in August 2024 and have been kept in the military detention without trial. The late Okubaye was arrested alongside late Ogoroko, Professor Arthur Ekpepo, Chief Belvis Adogbo, Mrs. Mabel Uwemu, and Mr. Dennis Malaka between August 18 and 20, 2024 and have remained in military detention since. Pastor Akpos Okubaye broke the news of his father's death to Vanguard yesterday in tears. Okuama community, after the death of the 72-year-old Ogoroko, had raised the alarm over the failing health of Pa Okubaye and demanded his immediate release. Vanguard gathered that Okubaye's family had sent about 401,000 naira between Monday and Tuesday for Okubaye's health care through a source who reviewed his worrying status at the Nigerian Army Headquarters 6th Division, Borikam, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The source, who showed electronic transfer receipt of the money sent, added that late Ogoroko also died in the same facility in Rivers State. You heard that. Now, after the saga between the Nigerian army and those youths of Okuama community, the Nigerian army took 6 of the leaders in Okuama community. They took those leaders to their detention and locked them up since August. Now, their President General, Pa Ogoroko, died in detention. And after he died, they began raising alarm about another one that was sick. You kept people in detention, Nigerian army, which is totally wrong. No trial, nothing. Clearly against the law. You kept them in detention. One died. The second one fell sick. His family started sending money. They sent 401,000 naira. And now he's dead. Look at what the Nigerian army is doing to people in the Okuama community right before the whole world. And you expect foreign investors to carry their 2 legs and come and invest in this kind of country with all this human rights abuse? It is not possible. Later, you come and say that some people are demarketing the country. Why are you not speaking well about your country? Shetima will come and say, Kemi Badenoch is not proud of Nigeria. How can she be proud of this kind of evil? It is not possible. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, that update, fresh update about the Dele FAROTIMI and Babalola saga that shows that the Nigerian court is a circus popped up. Look at how the papers reported it. Hashtag free Dele FAROTIMI. Glendora Bookshop, Lagos, removes FAROTIMI's Nigeria and its criminal justice system book from shelves. Cites court order. Sahara Reporters. The managing director of Glendora Bookshop, Ikeja, Lagos State, has reportedly instructed the withdrawal of all the copies of Nigeria and its criminal justice system book written by human rights lawyer Dele FAROTIMI from its bookshelves across its stores nationwide, Sahara Reporters has learned. The staff said the directive was in compliance with an order of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which issued an injunction restraining further production and distribution of Nigeria and its criminal justice system, the book written by the human rights lawyer Dele FAROTIMI. The other is over the alleged defamation content in the book, against legal luminary Afe Babalola San. A staff who spoke to Sahara reporters on Wednesday confirmed the directive, adding, "The owner of the Glendora bookshop has directed that we should remove the book from the shelves immediately and return to the publishers. As we speak, all the copies of the book have been removed from our shelves. In short, we don't have any copy left in our store now." The book has been a topic of heated debate due to its allegation of judicial manipulation and recently became a global seller in the politics category on Amazon platform. Sahara reporters had reported that armed police arrested FAROTIMI at his office in Lagos State on 3rd December and took him to Ekiti, more than 300 kilometers. The book accused Babalola of manipulating the judiciary to secure favorable rulings for his clients. The allegations have not only attracted significant public interest, but have also put the legal icon in the spotlight with growing condemnation for his use of the police to harass FAROTIMI. With his own hands, he has confirmed every single thing that was written in that book. This man does not even, oh my God. I wish people could see this thing the way I'm saying. I'm trying to make you see it. When I say that everything that happens from here will just be showing the different dimensions of Dele Farotimi's victory in this case. All these things that Afe Babalola is doing with the police and doing with the Nigerian judiciary is another book on its own. Someone else is sitting down somewhere now documenting all these things as a book. Somebody alleged that you corrupted the judiciary, that you perverse judgments, that you use your power to control police, to control things, and you say the person has defamed you. And then how did you react? You began controlling police. You began using the same power to control the judiciary. You began doing everything that this man said you did in the book. You are now doing new set of things. It means you don't have other ways of handling issues. In just less than 2 weeks that this saga started, Afe Babalola has done everything even more than what this guy said. He has used police. He has abused the law. Oh my God. This man does not have people advising him. Afe Babalola has completely tarnished his legacy. And Kalisha here says, how can someone paint himself exactly as he is alleged to be? Both Afe Babalola and the judiciary have proven Dele Farotimi right. They don't even know how to pretend anymore. Big shame. Hashtag free Dele Farotimi. Now, exactly. Saying everything. They are doing everything that he said in the book. And Jasper here says, removing the book from the shelves doesn't mean the book will not be ordered for or be sold. It only increases the demand for the book and with higher price tag. Since the book came out, corruption has continued to fight back. That is it. But I don't expect anything less. The political class, this is what they stand for, especially the APC. And that is why I keep telling Nigerians that if we desire to have a country at all in the next future, we must come together and kick these guys out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news. Where una go like? Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.